Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of the In the Ring Show with your host, Devious Damien. Now, before I get into what I'm going to talk about today, I have a couple things to get out of the way first. Excuse me. No clear in my throat was not one of them. I want to issue an apology to YouTube user and a member of the YWC, Dreamboy899. A few months back, Mr. Rout did a video about reasons why Dreamboy899 sucks. Now, at the time, I did not know that it was a joke. I thought maybe there was a legit feud going on there. So, being a fan of the Off the Rope show, I took Mr. Rout's side. Come to find out later, it was a joke, and I verbally attacked Dreamboy, and I even more unfairly verbally attacked his girlfriend. So, Dreamboy, I do apologize for verbally attacking you and your girlfriend, and I also apologize for threatening you over this whole matter. It was stupid. I was out of line. I apologize for that. I did not get on this channel to, start beefs or, feud with anybody. I simply started this channel to have fun, talk about pro wrestling, and that's all I got on here for. I hope to one day, reach the popularity of some of the other more popular YouTubers, the British Fist, Off the Rope Show, and, so on. But my main purpose is just to get on here and have fun talking about pro wrestling. So I do apologize to Dreamboy899 over that issue. So, anyway, on to what I was about to talk about. So here I am reading some inbox questions to me. So let's read some of these. Yo, Faded. Interesting. Sent to the wrong user. Let's try another one. What's up, Faded? Okay, 2 for 2. What's up with this? Why am I getting emails saying, yo, Faded, what's up, Faded? What's up with that? I don't know. Anyway, let's try one more. Hey, Faded. Okay. Do I look like Faded Holy Soldier here, people? What the fuck is this, Mr. Advice? I am not Faded Holy Soldier. This is not Mr. Advice. I mean, do I look like a guy who'd be named Faded Holy Soldier? I mean, do I look like a guy who has a YouTube show called Mr. Advice? Do I look like that kind of guy to you? No, I don't think I do. I mean, if you want to see Faded Holy Soldier, then check out his channel. You're not going to find him here. Just saying. Anyway, back to what I was about to talk about. So, a couple weeks ago on Raw, they named AJ the general manager. Right. So let me get this straight. You go take a girl who was batshit crazy, and she didn't even know what she was going to do half the time. Now you make her the general manager of Raw. Can somebody please tell me how this works? Not only that, but can somebody also tell me how we're supposed to take her seriously as a GM when she's all of, 95 pounds? And any member of the roster could easily snap her in two if they so desired? I mean, give me a fucking break. Seriously. Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. I mean, and Booker T being the general manager of SmackDown, that at least makes sense because he's a guy who's been around the business and even around the WWE for quite a long time. So he at least looks like he should, could have some respect, and actually make people do the things that they may not want to do. So I commend that decision being made by the WWE. So, I just think that was, a really good decision. But speaking of bad decisions, why the fuck are they letting Antonio Cesaro beat Santino Marella lately. Can somebody explain that to me? I mean, seriously, can you explain to me why the fuck this jackass who, has never, or excuse me, has not been on TV much lately, is suddenly just coming on TV and beating the United States champion out of the clear blue sky when he wasn't even relevant, like, at least a month ago, if not longer? I'm sorry, if you're gonna be grooming somebody to stop Santino's United States title run, make it somebody who's actually been relevant as of late. I'm not a big fan of the guy, but for fuck's sake, at least Damian Sandow has been fucking relevant. When the fuck has Antonio Cesaro been relevant, except with the exception of the past couple of weeks? He hasn't. For fuck's sake, at least put the title on somebody who's been relevant for more than 2 weeks after months of obscurity. Jesus Christ. Speaking of fucked up decisions by the WWE, I think I mentioned this in a past video, and I'm gonna mention it again. A friend of mine who was on the indie circuit for the longest time, Brody Lee, or as some of you may have heard him called, if you read up on it, Luke Harper. Luke fucking Harper. What about that name is supposed to be intimidating? They should have kept the name Brody Lee. That sounds more intimidating than Luke Harper. I'm sorry, if I'm sitting in the ring, and if I had never seen the guy, if I heard the name Luke Harper, I wouldn't be scared. I'd be expecting some 2-bit jabroni to be walking out with a name like that, just saying. You hear the name Brody, though, that sounds a little bit edgier, a little bit tougher, a little bit more intimidating. That's just my opinion. I'm not blaming, Brody for it. I blame the WWE, and I can't believe they would give him such a stupid fucking name.
Such an everyday, generic name?
Yeah, I mean, Luke Harper. How much do you want to fucking bet? If I were to go on white pages right now, especially if I could search the entire United States, how many Luke Harpers I would find? I mean, seriously, I could probably find at least 1,000. At least. And that probably wouldn't even those stuff. And truth be told, 1,000 probably wouldn't even scratch the surface of how many Luke Harpers there probably are in the United States. I mean, seriously. I don't get the fucking name. I think it's fucking stupid. And, another decision that the WWE has made as of late, and I think is stupid, is the way Triple H dominated Brock Lesnar on Raw. Now, if the WWE was going to have Brock Lesnar do something, to get one over on Triple H before SummerSlam, I might be able to let it slide. But something tells me that they're not going to do that. Now, I'm going to say, if I were booking this whole thing right now, to make Brock save some face before SummerSlam, here's what I would do. I would, Triple H be in the ring, cutting a promo, whatever, and out comes out comes Brock, and, he beats up Triple H pretty good, and, he's not stopping, and out comes Stephanie, tries pleading with Brock to stop it, don't hurt him, whatever, something like that. And then Brock then turns his attention to her, and I'd have Triple H just sitting up at the moment Brock F5 Stephanie or does something to her, puts her through a table or something, and make it so he had no choice but to watch and was powerless to do nothing about it. Now, I know the WWE probably won't do that because that violates their fucking be a star bullshit. And the only reason I call it bullshit is not because I'm against the program itself. I'm against the WWE's involvement in it. Because it's not only one, is it hypocritical, but two, WWE is so fucking politically correct these days, it makes me fucking sick. And I'll tell you the reason it makes me the most sick is because they're only doing it for one fucking reason. They're trying to get Linda in the fucking Senate. Vince, it didn't work the first fucking time. What makes you think this time is going to be any different? Here's a tip, Vince. When she loses again, and she will, cut it the fuck out. Quit your PG bullshit. And, you know, Sean's View Entertainment made a video about people complaining about the PG era. You know, and he said it was stupid. Saying, you know, well, nobody complains about the Disney Channel being that way. There's a difference, Sean. People expect it from the frickin' Disney Channel. When you turn on WWE, I'm sorry, when I turn on WWE, I don't want to see divas that look like they should be on Hannah Montana. For fuck's sake. I don't want to see wrestlers who are so frickin' politically correct and so fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, kid-friendly, that they should be on the Mickey Mouse Club instead of on WWE TV. I mean, frickin', for crying out loud. John Cena's so kid-friendly, he might as well just go out there and cut promos with Mickey Mouse ears on. Just saying. I mean, they've gone so far, they're practically just a slightly more violent version of the Disney Channel. Come on. And to point to more things that are making them a little too politically correct. Lord Tensai made a video, yelling at his driver. I forgot his fucking or not his driver, but the guy who follows him to the fucking ring. I can't remember his fucking name. And they posted a tout video, and he yelled at him that driving with Japanese people is dangerous, and to open his eyes. Now, and the WWE apologized on his behalf for the video, saying how racist it was. Okay, maybe, but, I mean, he could have said a lot worse. I mean, I've heard a lot worse said on the air. And then, furthermore, on that same show, AW made a Kobe Bryant reference when he said, he was talking about Titus O'Neil, and he said, Titus is unstoppable, kind of like Kobe Bryant in a Colorado hotel room. Making reference to Kobe Bryant's alleged rape of a woman back in 2003 in a Colorado hotel room. And AW apologized for it, saying it was out of line, it was insensitive and inappropriate. Okay, but here's the question I have. With the WWE being so kid-friendly, had the WWE not made such a big deal about it, the kids might have just forgotten that AW ever said that in the first place. But now that the WWE made such a big deal about it, now you're going to have kids asking their mom and dad, hey, mommy, daddy, what's the big deal about that? What happened? And, now you got all these parents are going to have to rush to cover their ass and be like, just don't worry about it. See, the WWE makes too big of a fucking deal about shit that maybe if they just, shut the fuck up and let it go, maybe, just maybe, nobody'd fucking remember it happened in the first place. Just saying. I mean, it's adults maybe not, but when it comes to kids, sometimes if you just pretend something didn't happen, the kids forget about it and life goes on as usual. No big fucking deal. I just can't believe that, this kind of shit goes on. It's fucking pathetic. It's fucking stupid. Oh, actually, there was one more thing I was going to ask at the beginning of the video and I forgot to ask. So I'll just do it real quick now while I still remember to do it. To all my viewers out there, I have a question. Would you rather see several videos throughout the week, or would you rather see one long extended video where I kind of just cover the entire spectrum of everything that's happened through the week? SmackDown, Raw, Impact, whatever. Let me know your thoughts. Would you rather see several shows or one long show throughout the week? And, speaking of Impact Wrestling, I just talked about it for a quick second there. I think I've said it before in a video, but I'm going to say it again because I think it bears repeating. They needed to drop the fucking name Aces and Eights for that group. Call them the Dead Man's Hand, because that's what it's fucking called in poker, is a dead man's hand. Now, I know some of you are probably going to come... before I did this video, my off-screen broadcast partner, Devastating Deb, said, well, maybe people will get it confused with The Undertaker. And I can understand her point. But here's what I think, though. There is a way you can do it, and you can separate it from having any connection with The Undertaker whatsoever. When they beat somebody down or they're cutting a promo, they say, you've been dealt the dead man's hand, and then they show the cards. Therefore, signifying that that's what they're talking about, and that it has no connection to The Undertaker whatsoever. That's just my opinion. And I kind of like where they're going with this whole thing where they're making other wrestlers like implicate James Storm as the leader. Now, I know he's not going to be the leader, but I kind of think that's a good thing they're doing with this, because when it's finally revealed that he's not the leader, that he's been innocent this whole time, and, you know, guys have been, like, you know, shitting on him the entire time, you know, he's going to get so much more sympathy as a babyface, and I actually think that'll work out for the best for him. So I kind of like what they're doing with this right now. Although I don't think they should, you know, draw it out too long before they reveal the leader. You know, reveal that it's Jeff Jarrett behind it, but that's just my opinion. And speaking of TNA storylines that kind of, you know, I wish they would just change up. Stop with the Joseph Park thing, for fuck's sake. We know it's Abyss. Nobody is fooled. Nobody. So just cut it out. You know, do something to end it already, and just fucking quit it. It's fucking stupid. I'm sorry, I just think it's fucking stupid. And you know, something else that I think should happen. I think Brock Lesnar should win at SummerSlam. He probably won't. Because, God forbid, Triple H does anything that makes him look weak. But, you know, just my opinion, I think Triple H should lose at SummerSlam. But he probably won't, so I'm not even gonna, you know, go there with that whole thing.
I don't think he should lose.
You know, my off-screen partner, Devastating Deb, thinks that he shouldn't lose. And, excuse me, I had to adjust the camera a little bit. You know, that's her opinion. Her and I disagree, but hey, it is what it is. You know, another thing that I think is that WWE has too goddamn many titles. And I think they should, especially since they're not really making much of an effort to attempt to separate Raw and SmackDown stars, they should just get rid of some of the belts that they have. Get rid of the fucking World Heavyweight title. Get rid of the fucking United States title. Because both belts have become so watered down now that they're fucking meaningless. There's only one way I could see you justifying keeping those belts around, and that is if you relaunch WCW. And have Vince off the fucking screen. He, you know, let him just, you know, be the financial backer of it. Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, you know, Damien, we know that Vince owns WCW, all the rights to it. Yes, we know that. But here's my point. If you keep him off the air of any WCW programming, if they relaunched it, it would at least allow us fans to pretend that we don't know he owns the rights to it. You know, at least present that image that we don't know. I mean, it's kind of like a magician. When a magician's pulling a rabbit out of his fucking ass. Okay. We don't need somebody right there, you know, rubbing our faces in the fact that we know that the rabbit, you know, somehow was already up his ass in the first fucking place.
Or have one of the kids steal it out from underneath them.
Yeah. I mean, either way, do something to, you know, at least try to make us believe that, you know, Vince has no part of it or something. I mean, even though we know he does, just, you know, make us pretend we don't know. You know, I don't think that's too much to fucking ask. I don't fucking get it. I think it's fucking stupid. Another thing I don't understand is what the fuck is this Jinder Mahal and Ryback feud all about? I mean, I know I've said in the past that I want to see Ryback in a feud, but and I said that and I meant it.
Why is Jinder Mahal getting the push?
Yeah, what the fuck? I'm sorry. In my opinion, that's elevating Jinder Mahal and making Ryback take a step down. Now, and here's another thing I don't fucking understand. When he was facing those two fucking guys, the local talents that he was facing week in, week out for a while, they would never run. But yet you got Jinder Mahal getting himself counted out, getting himself DQ'd, and running for his fucking life all the time. So you're going to tell me that two 150-pound guys have more bravery and more balls than who's supposed to be at least somewhat of an established WWE star? Do you realize how that's making Jinder look? That he won't even, stay in the ring with Ryback to at least, make some attempt to fight? I mean, for fuck's sake. And furthermore, I mean, who does this feud really benefit anybody? I mean, I'm not even sure this feud really benefits anybody, because if Ryback beats him, which, well, okay, we know he will, so there's no really if about it. When Ryback squashes the shit out of him, what has Ryback really accomplished? It's not like he's beaten anybody who's had any real momentum as of late. I'm sorry, but he hasn't. Jinder Mahal is pretty much forgettable. And here's another thing I don't want to talk about. Yes, I know I tend to switch topics a lot, and I don't really, transition. I just tend to switch topics without warning. Well, that's just how I do things.
That's how you roll.
Yeah, that's how I roll. That's just how I do things. If people want more reasons why Zack Ryder deserves a push, do me a favor. Google Sports Illustrated Top 100 Most Influential Sports Figures on Twitter. Guess who was on that list? Zack Ryder. And here's another thing about that. Not only was Zack Ryder on the list, he was the only pro wrestler to be on the list. Now, to me, that's saying something. Especially when you consider how rarely Sports Illustrated ever acknowledges anything about the WWE. They very rarely do it. So for them to acknowledge Zack Ryder, and for him to be the only fucking wrestler on the list, to me that says something, about his popularity. And why he deserves so much more than he's getting right now. And another thing, my broadcast partner, Devastating Deb, said this, and, at the time I didn't think much of it, but then I put more thought into it, and I realized she was right about what she said. They should take the Internet Championship and turn it into a real title to win. Now, I know I just said that WWE has too many titles, but I'm saying, if they drop the World Heavyweight title, they drop the United States title, use the Internet title. Why? Well, since the WWE insists on shoving their internet stuff down our throats every freaking week with Tout, Twitter, YouTube, and so on. Excuse me. Then they should have a fucking Internet champion, let Zack Ryder be the champion first. So he can use his customized belt. Now, of course, you let WWE make their own version of the belt for anybody to wear, and then you let Zack Ryder keep his version of the belt. Excuse me. I mean, it's not that hard. You should just fucking do it. I mean, I don't know. I think they should just keep up with it. Here's another thing that's really fucking annoyed me. Randy Orton. Now, I'm not saying Randy Orton himself has annoyed me, but it's something that the WWE has done, not just with Randy Orton, but with a lot of people, and it really kind of pisses me off. So Randy Orton was suspended for 60 days for a second wellness policy violation. But here's what really bothers me about that more than anything else. It's almost as if, when Randy was on his way out the door for those 60 days, Vince kind of just said to him, "Oh, don't worry, Randy. We'll hold your main event spot for you. You won't lose it, we promise." And sure as shit, he comes back, and what did Vince do? He did as he probably fucking promised. He held a spot for him.
But look what they did with Miz, too. He was on a downward spiral, then he goes to do the movie, he comes back, he's champion.
I mean, but you just illustrated my point even more. Yeah. Here's my point. Since Randy Orton was gone, he shouldn't just be brought right back into the main event spot. He should have to work his way up. And here's where it really bothers me. They did it with The Miz, they did it with Randy Orton, and they sure as fuck, if John Cena ever violated it, you sure as shit know he wouldn't lose his main event fucking spot. You sure as shit fucking know that. And especially, but the reason I'm talking about Randy Orton and John Cena the most out of all this is because they belong to an elite thing called the Breakfast Club, so you don't know what the fuck they do. They're going to keep their spot no matter how bad they fuck up. As long as they're allowed to still be in the company, they'll keep that fucking spot. And before I get comments saying, well, Damien, you hate John Cena, so you're fucking biased anyway, this comment has nothing to do with my personal feelings for John Cena. Okay? I'm sorry. It wouldn't fucking matter who it was. Even if CM Punk was in John Cena's spot right now, and he violated the wellness policy, I'd say CM Punk should lose the fucking spot too. You know, if a guy who was in that spot goes out for any reason, then guess what? Somebody else should be able to grab that spot. And, for John Cena, Randy Orton, for them, even if it's them, Vince should be like, oh, well, hey, you were suspended, you were out. What do you want me to do? That's the way the business goes. You snooze, you lose, whatever. I mean, not exactly in those words, but you get the point. If you're out of the scene, you can lose your main event spot. Vince should not be just basically like, oh, don't worry, guys, we'll keep your spot for you. No, it shouldn't be that way. They should learn, especially if they violate the wellness policy, then especially they should learn a lesson from. They should be, dropped down a little bit and have to work their way back up.
But their test should be a little bit better, too. A little more specific.
That may be. But the point is, it shouldn't just be, the punishment shouldn't just be, you can't wrestle for 60 days. Because let's face it, what guy in WWE, if they're in a main event spot, and they know that even if they fail the wellness policy, and they're just going to get their main event spot when they come back, how seriously are they going to really fucking take that shit? I mean, for fuck's sake, how much do you want to bet that now because Randy Orton's right back in his main event spot where he was right before he was gone in the first place, he's almost laughing off the fucking punishment. It's almost like, oh, no big fucking deal, so I didn't wrestle for 60 days, but I came right back to my main event spot.
Yeah, but you can't get another one.
Yeah, but you see my point. It's almost like, yeah, if he gets it one more time, he'll be fired. And I do that in quotation marks because I seriously wonder if it was John Cena or if it was Randy Orton, would they really fire him? I just kind of wonder. I mean, if the WWE did and they actually, went ahead and pulled the trigger with firing Randy Orton if he violated it a third time, okay, then I'd admit I was wrong. But somehow I get the feeling that if it was either Randy Orton or John Cena, they wouldn't pull the trigger on firing him.
Wouldn't Mysterio be a third strike too?
Yeah, Mysterio will be another one. Although, I hate to say this, but I honestly feel it's true. I honestly feel that they would not hesitate to fire Mysterio, but you damn sure bet that they'd think twice before they fired Cena or Orton. You know they would. I mean, it's true. I'm sorry, but they fucking would think twice before they did it. If they even bothered to do it at all. Because, as much as the kids love Rey Mysterio, he's not on the level of John Cena or Randy Orton. He just isn't, and he never will be.
He used to be up there.
I mean, yeah, he might have been somewhere near the top tier at one point, but let's face it, he was never up there with Cena and Orton. He never was, he never will be. But and I'm not blaming Rey for that. I blame the WWE, because they never let anybody get near John Cena as far as being more over than he is. When anybody comes close, they pull the rug right out from fucking under him. I keep saying it because I'm getting sick of fucking seeing it. you know, and once again, I'm gonna say something I've said at least 2-3 times before, but I'm gonna keep fucking saying it till somebody takes notice and gets it through Vince's fucking skull. Vince, John Cena is not going to be there forever. Sooner or later, you're gonna have to rely on someone else. First it was Hogan. Okay, Hogan left. Then it was The Rock. Then it was, well, first Austin, then Rock, whatever. But it was Rock and Austin, you know, and a few other guys thrown in there too. Point is, you were able to find somebody else after they were gone. So you got to stop treating John Cena like he's the end-all, be-all of everything. And, you know, you didn't even treat The Rock and Austin like that, Vince. I mean, yeah, they got booked strong relatively consistently, but for fuck's sake, the way you book John Cena is fucking ridiculous. Sometimes I swear it's almost like you've gone senile and you actually do believe that John Cena is the end-all, be-all of your business. And it's almost like you think that if John Cena leaves, that you're going to go under, you're going to go belly up without John Cena being there. Excuse me. Reality check, Vince. Your company will not go belly up without John Cena being there. Because guess what? If John Cena were to be fired or he were to quit or, you know, whatever, guess what? Those same kids that buy John Cena's merchandise, sooner or later, you know, they'd be riding somebody else's dick and then you'd be making just as much money off whoever that was as you are John Cena. Or at least somewhere close to it. And speaking of sucking dicks and riding on dicks, fucking Michael Cole. Jesus Christ. I swear to God, Michael Cole is one of the most fucking annoying announcers ever. And the reason for that, well, one reason I should say, is because his love affair with the fucking Miz. In fact, you know what? Here comes the part of my show where I'm going to name reasons that Michael Cole absolutely sucks. One reason is his love affair with The Miz. Every fucking time The Miz comes out there, oh my god, it's The Miz and he's awesome and blah, 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 blah. And I swear to God, I don't know how The Miz walks when every time you see The Miz on TV, there's Michael Cole sucking his fucking cock all the time. Christ. Michael Cole's on his dick so much he might as well just super glue his fucking lips to his dick. Another reason that Michael Cole sucks is he constantly makes jokes about JR and his Bell's palsy. Oh! And okay, I'm going to break away from that. My reasons Michael Cole sucks for a minute. That's another thing that gets me about the WWE. So they'll make Tensai apologize for making those comments about, you know, his follower, his worshiper, whatever the fuck he is. And AW's comments, they'll make him apologize for that. But it's not okay to do that, but it is okay for, you know, them to make constant jokes about JR's Bell's palsy. To me, that is utter fucking bullshit, and that should not even be allowed to go on. I mean, so it's okay to pick on a medical condition, but it's not okay to, you know, pick on somebody's race or whatever. Great message, WWE. You know, but now back to the reasons that Michael Cole sucks. Bringing up Jerry Lawler's dead mother. Now, I'm not saying that he did these things all on his own, that he wasn't fed these ideas. But even so, the fact that he was the one that did it, yeah, he shouldn't have done that. Another reason Michael Cole sucks is his constant shitting on wrestlers. Now, Michael Cole, in my opinion, is the number one reason the Divas don't get taken seriously at all. Because every time, maybe not so much anymore, but back in the day, Michael Cole used to interrupt Divas matches, gong them on NXT, and so on and so forth. So how are we supposed to be taking them seriously when, you know, Michael Cole, who's supposed to be like the lead announcer, isn't even taking them seriously and he's shitting all over them? Just saying, I mean, you can't take something seriously if you can't take a wrestler saying Michael Cole's going to shit on him all the time. Another reason Michael Cole sucks. Oh my! Really Cole, and he didn't even say it. He's like, oh my. Cole, if you're going to sell the importance of an event, don't say, oh my. You know, especially in the voice you do it in, it doesn't even make people care that they missed anything if they missed it at all. You know, I used to, my favorite was Joey Styles. Oh my God! You know, that the way he said it in that catchphrase, if you missed what happened when he said that, you know, if you didn't tape the show, and you were watching it right there and then you couldn't rewind, you were like, fuck, what did I just miss? And you hoped for a replay. You know, and Taz was even good at selling, you know, moments that were like, wow. He was good at it. Cole can't do it for shit. You know, Cole needs to learn how to, you know, make people want, you know, sell, you know, a moment like that. Like, you know, make people believe like, oh, fuck, I shouldn't have just missed that. If they missed it, that is. Cole doesn't have that ability. He doesn't have the ability to make you care that you missed it. Just saying, and he needs it. I mean, another thing about Michael Cole. Getting back to the point about how he shits on wrestlers, and that's some of the reason they don't get over. I know some of you think that Michael Cole doesn't have an effect on how you view a wrestler. Whether you realize it or not, yes, he does. You may not think he does, but he does. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. You know, if Michael Cole were week after week shitting on John Cena, even the most diehard Cena fan in the world, sooner or later would start to change their opinion on Cena before they even realize what happened. And then they'd reach a point where I used to like John Cena, and then all of a sudden they'd start saying things that Michael Cole had said. And, you know, and then suddenly they'd be like, oh my God, Michael Cole just shaped my opinion. See, wrestling announcers can, like I said, it's subconscious, but they truly do have more of an impact on how you look at a wrestler and how you look at what's going on in the ring than you realize. They truly do. They have more of an impact than you know. I mean, so that's my take on that. I just feel that, you know, Michael Cole needs to learn how to put wrestlers over, and that's it. You know, he just does. Or bring JR back or do something. Because I'm sorry, Michael Cole he's annoying and he sucks, and they just need somebody better at the announce table. So, those are my thoughts on, you know, what's gone on in wrestling the past few weeks. You know, so what do you think of this video? Share your comments down below. And one more thing I would like to say before I end this video. I am no longer going to start beefing with anybody on here. So from here on in, if you know, make a negative comment on my video. Now, by a negative comment, I don't mean disagree with me. If you can intelligently disagree with me without calling me without name calling or doing any other childish bullshit, if you can just make a valid reason why you disagree with my points of view, that's fine. Go ahead. But if you just, you know, go ahead and you do all this stupid name-calling crap, even if I don't delete the comment, I just won't respond to it because I'm not going to sit here and get into a childish argument with somebody who just wants to get some attention on YouTube. I'm not going to do it. If you have an intelligent response, you know, video response or a comment response, whatever, and you can state valid reasons why you disagree with something I say, I welcome that. You may not change my mind. I may not change yours. You know, I may agree with what you say. I may not. We may just have to agree to disagree on the issue. And if that's the case, so be it. I don't mind getting into a grown-up debate about something. If you can be mature and intelligent about it, I don't mind you disagreeing with my points of view. But when you get on here and, oh, you're just a fucking moron and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, I'm not even going to respond to that. So if you're going to disagree, then at least give me intelligent reasoning as to why. That's all I'm asking for. So anyway, subscribe, like the video, comment down below. For this edition of the In the Ring Show, this is Devious Damien signing out.